In the heart of a bustling Nigerian town, there lay a vibrant market known as Afoko. It was a place where colors mingled, spices filled the air, and the sound of haggling echoed in the marketplaces as buyers argued for better deal, especially over prices with sellers. But among the cheerful banters of vendors and shoppers, a chilling myth lingered, a tale that kept the town folk weary. According to legend, long ago, the spirit of those who had died in the town would rise in the marketplace, taking on the form of merchants, sellers. These ghostly sellers were said to entice unsuspecting buyers with goods that promised great value, but came at a dreadful cost. Those who dared to bend down and look closely would see the ghost merchants and be trapped. Mama Nkechi was one of those women who told the long old story, the story to their children, just like every parent in the town. They warned their children never to bend down looking from in between their legs at any marketplace. Whenever these parents told the story to their children, they paid rapt attention, nodding their head as a way to show that they had believed all that their parents had said. And most times, their mouths wide open in disbelief. But whenever Mama Nkechi told such story to her children, only Nnenna and Ifeanyi that totally believed their mother's stories and warning. But Nkechi was different from them. She did not believe at all. Whenever their mother was done telling such story, Nkechi would say to her other siblings, that is, Ifeanyi and Nnenna, Mama and her story. Very soon, she would tell us not to put food in our mouths because spirits were going to appear. Nkechi would say sarcastically as she would burst into laughter. Nkechi, what is funny? Why are you always laughing over mother's tale? Ifeanyi and Nnenna would say, looking at Nkechi. I mean, why won't I laugh? Isn't it funny? Nkechi would echo. Nkechi was only 16 years old. She was the first daughter of the family. Reason why, when her mother gave birth to her, just like most African clan, her mother's name changed automatically from Uloma to Mama Nkechi. Nkechi was a very strong-willed child. She was not one to be tossed around with words. She was very opinionated, and her parents were really worried for her. They felt she was too stubborn and never listened to what her parents have to say. Her father was the one more concerned. Nkechi, you are a woman, he would say most times. So, one outstanding trait of Nkechi was that, in all, she was very intelligent, and in school, no one in her class could match her intelligence, nor surpass her. She held her head high, and most of her classmates really wanted to be like her, because in every prize-giving day, she was always called several times on stage to come receive her award, ranging from best in mathematics to best in English language, best in chemistry, and other subjects. In the end, Nkechi would claim all the prizes of the overall best student, which made her parents very proud of her. One holiday, Nkechi was back home from school as she was a boarding student who spent most of her time in the boarding house. She loved her holidays so much because she got to spend more time bonding with her other siblings. One day, Nkechi's mother asked Nkechi to accompany her to the market to get some groceries. Nkechi was excited because she loved to leave her comfort zone, which was her home. She knew she was going to have a great time in the market, and most of all, she wanted to experiment and see if her mother's tale about the ghost traders were really true. When Nkechi's mother and Nkechi got to the market, there were a lot of traders and buyers. The noise of buyers bargaining prices of goods filled the atmosphere. Nkechi followed her mother excitedly as she watched closely all the traders. How can this person be a ghost? No, now, even that one can't be a ghost. They are all serious. They are serious with their business. All I can see are traders in their need to make sales. Nkechi thought to herself. She pondered on all the tales about ghost merchants she had heard from her mother. Nkechi's mother was one of those women who spent so much time in the market trying to bargain for a lesser amount for any item she wants to buy. Most times, she would go round the market like twice before she could be done with her purchases. Madam, how much is your yam? Mama Nkechi asked one yam seller. It is 800. The trader responded, madam, I will pay you 200. At the mention of 200, Nkechi was shocked. She did not know when she shouted, Mommy! It slipped from her mouth. She was too surprised to hear her mother bargain for a yam of 800 for 200. The kind of look her mother gave her quickly brought Nkechi back to her senses as she stood there quietly. After a lot of back and forth between the yam seller and Nkechi's mother, the yam seller asked Nkechi's mother to add 50 to the 200 naira, making 250 naira. What? Nkechi thought to herself, even more surprised because for her, she felt the seller's last price was going to be 700 against 800 she initially mentioned. When they had gotten home that day, Nkechi's mother lectured her on the best way to bargain. You see what happened today in the market? That I bought that yam 250 naira. Mother, I was really surprised though. I would never have thought that the trader would sell for that price. Yes, that is how they behave. They put an exuberant price because they know buyers would always bargain for a lesser price. After a lot of tutoring, Nkechi's mother believed that Nkechi was not capable of going to the market all alone to make few purchases for a start. So one day, Nkechi's mother asked Nkechi to go to the market and help her purchase a few items which she wrote on a piece of paper with the prices. Nkechi was excited. At least she was going to explore the market by herself for the very first time. As Nkechi entered the market, curiosity quickly replaced her excitement. She looked round curiously at every buyer and seller as they haggled loudly. Nkechi wanted to know more. As she got to a spot, she remembered her mother's tale and she wanted to confirm how true it was. She stylishly opened her legs as she quickly bent down. To her amazement, she noticed that quite a few legs of the traders were not touching the floor. Their legs were hanging and suspended in the air. But when she raised her head, all the traders all looked normal. Fear gripped Nkechi at once as the scene of the ghost sellers terrified her. She wanted to run back home. When she turned round, she saw a young trader of about 14 years selling oranges. She was a ghost trader, but she was quite young. Nkechi was moved with compassion. Why are you crying? Nkechi asked the girl. She looked at Nkechi as she continued to cry profusely. But when Nkechi looked at the woman standing next to her, Ma, please, why is it this young girl crying? Nkechi asked the woman standing close to her. The woman looked at Nkechi as though she was insane. I am not seeing any girl crying, no. The woman replied Nkechi sternly as she walked past Nkechi. Why is nobody seeing this girl crying now? The more Nkechi tried to talk to people about the crying girl, the more she was told that they could not see the crying girl. It then dawned on Nkechi that the girl crying was a ghost and that she was the only one seeing the crying girl. Nkechi's head was spinning from different thoughts running through her mind. Nkechi hurriedly bought the few items on her list her mother had written as she ran back home, sweating profusely. Nkechi's mother noticed Nkechi was so uneasy, and it was very unusual of her. She returned from the market. She had not been herself. What is the matter with you? Nkechi's mother questioned. Nothing, mother. I am fine, Nkechi said with a fake smile. How was she going to explain what had happened to her in the market? Nkechi thought to herself. Throughout that day, Nkechi was not at peace with herself. Her mind kept on racing back to the scene in the marketplace. The next day, Nkechi decided that she would go and visit her friend, her childhood friend, 2 houses away from their house, to at least get the market scene off her thoughts. Immediately she came out of her house, she saw that same girl, the one she had seen at the market crying the other day. Nkechi was startled by the presence because she already knew that the girl was not ordinary. The girl was a ghost trader in the market. Nkechi observed the girl a little so that she can quickly run away. Immediately, Nkechi took to her heels. To her amazement, the girl appeared right in front of her. A chilled sensation ran all over the body of Nkechi. She was cold immediately as the presence of the girl made Nkechi shiver. At once, Nkechi fell to the ground, begging, "Please don't kill me, please don't kill me. I am sorry for bending down. I am sorry for looking at you people in the market." Nkechi pleaded with the ghost trader. She was even too scared to look at her face. The girl spoke to Nkechi for the very first time. "I am not going to kill you, but I need you to help me deliver a message." Nkechi froze. Deliver a message? To who? From who? Please, please leave me alone. Nkechi pleaded the more. "My mother. I need you to help me deliver a message to my mother, since you are the only one that can see me." What had happened was that the ghost trader was a teenage girl living with her mother and her 2 siblings. Her mother, Nwankego, had 2 daughters, Osinachi and Ada. Nwankego had lost her husband when the children were still young. Nwankego had given up on getting married again after the demise of her husband, who cherished her so much, but her daughters were really concerned about their mother because she was almost always very sad and she worked so hard to give the children the best. However, Nwankego met Okoye, a young handsome man who swept Nwankego off her feet. She, Nwankego, loved Okoye so much, but then again, she had told herself that she was never going to get married again after the death of her husband. But her 2 daughters, Ada and Osinachi, loved Okoye so much, and for them, they saw a father figure in Okoye. So, even when the mother, Nwankego, had consciously tried not to be in a relationship with Okoye, who had shown interest in her, Ada and Osinachi encouraged their mother to at least give love a try. In a bid to make her children happy, Nwankego started a relationship with Okoye, and Okoye was very nice to Nwankego and her children. He would most time buy gifts for them and make them so comfortable. So one day, Nwankego left Okoye with her 2 daughters to go get something. Okoye was left with Ada and Osinachi. Okoye gave Osinachi money to buy biscuits for herself. Osinachi took the money and left the house. Okoye was left with Ada all alone. But before Ada could realize, Okoye pounced on her. He was about to rape her, but Ada screamed. Okoye quickly tried to cover her mouth so that people will not hear, not knowing she was asthmatic. Ada passed out before Okoye could even rape her. When Okoye noticed that she was no longer moving, that was when Osinachi returned from where she went to get biscuits. "What happened to my sister?" Osinachi asked Okoye. Okoye told Osinachi that Ada fell down and stopped talking. Osinachi, fully aware that her sister Ada was asthmatic, she ran to go bring Ada's inhaler. Okoye immediately knew that he had gotten a concrete lie to tell. So he rushed Ada to the hospital and called Nwankego to inform her of what had happened to her daughter. After some hours, the doctor informed Nwankego that Ada had passed. Nwankego was shattered. She would cry non-stop. In those times, Okoye was always there consoling her to make her feel better, to make her feel happy. So Nwankego saw Okoye as her savior, unaware of the truth and who Okoye was. Please, help me tell my mother not to marry Okoye. He is a wicked and evil man. The girl cried bitterly as she spoke to Nkechi. Nkechi joined the ghost girl to cry. She felt pity and pain at the same time, but she was scared for her life. How was she going to confront Ada's mother to give her such news, and who was ever going to believe her? Nkechi did not know what to do because the ghost girl trader continued to appear to her and made her look like a mad person in the sight of others because she was only the person seeing her. Nkechi's mother noticed that Nkechi was always quiet and lost in thought, which was unlike Nkechi. Why are you always quiet nowadays? Nkechi's mother questioned her. It is nothing, mother. I am fine, Nkechi replied, unsure whether to disclose her problem with her mother. So Nkechi stopped going outside so as not to see the ghost girl until one day, as she sat in her room, she was startled by the presence of the ghost trader. This time, Nkechi knew that she no longer had a hiding place. The ghost girl told Nkechi the address to her mother's house. Nkechi had to go look for the location. When Nkechi got to the address, a woman came out of the compound. The ghost girl pointed to the woman. "That is my mother," she said. Nkechi froze as she saw the woman, but she had to be courageous. Nkechi approached the woman. "Good afternoon, ma," Nkechi said, almost fidgeting. "Oh, how are you, my dear?" the woman responded with a smile. "I am fine and not fine, ma," Nkechi said. The woman was surprised. Nwankego had never seen someone respond to greeting in such a manner. "So why are you not fine?" Nwankego inquired. "Ma, I need to speak to you." Nkechi moved closer to the woman and said, "Your daughter Ada. I need to see you because of her," Nkechi said with a low tone, almost inaudible. "My daughter Ada is dead. Why will you want to see me because of her? I don't know you, and you just came here because of my daughter, so you want to remind me of the past, right?" Nwankego started crying as the thought of Ada filled her mind. "Your daughter Ada said that you should not marry Okoye." "What? Are you insane? First, you spoke about my late daughter. Now you're talking about my soon-to-be husband. Come, this girl. If you are mad, you better go to the psychiatric hospital. Because, in fact, leave my presence!" the woman yelled at Nkechi, already visibly angry. But Nkechi did not move an inch. She needed to pass the message and be free from seeing the ghost trader. "I know you are angry, but ma, I am not lying. Your daughter Ada asked me to tell you that Okoye is wicked and that he almost raped her and suffocated her in the process." Nkechi explained all that Ada, the ghost girl, had told her. She had given a lot of vivid and valid explanation to prove that she had heard from Ada, her daughter. Nkechi further disclosed that Ada had told her that Osinachi was also in danger, that Okoye had been plotting seriously. Nwankego cried her eyes out. She could not believe that the one person she had come to trust so much, person that stood by her when she lost her daughter, was the cause of her daughter's death. But first, she needed a better way to get Okoye. She needed evidence because the words from Nkechi and the message from Ada the ghost was not enough to get Okoye hooked and trapped and get caught. So she went inside and told Okoye that she needed him to come keep his daughter Osinachi company, that she had an emergency. Okoye accepted with all pleasure because he got the perfect opportunity. So when Nwankego left the house, Okoye moved closer to Osinachi, trying to get his way with her. As he pounced on her, Nwankego opened the door To his greatest surprise, "What are you doing with my daughter?" Nwankego screamed. "So this is who you are? You are evil!" Nwankego screamed. "So what are you going to do?" Okoye said, giving a stern smile. "You do not have proof." "Really? So you are not even remorseful? After what you have done to my family, you wicked man, to think that I was about getting married to the devil himself," Nwankego shouted, crying. But before he could run away, the police accosted him. They have been outside waiting with Nkechi. "I am innocent. I did not do anything," Okoye said. "Really? Okoye, you think you can fool me? You evil man, I have a video evidence against you," Nwankego said, showing him the camera she had kept in her room. Okoye immediately knew that he had been caught red-handed and there was no way he would escape the law. Ada, the ghost girl, thanked Nkechi, bidding her farewell as she disappeared. Nkechi was glad that she could be of help to the ghost girl and redeem her family from impending doom. Nkechi was happy that it was all over. However, Nkechi kept on seeing different ghosts from the market. The one she had seen the very first day she had bent down to look under her legs in the market. It soon graduated to torment. She was always tormented by the ghost traders, as Nkechi was seen always talking to herself, as others could not see who she was talking to. Nkechi's mother saw her talking to herself one day behind the house. She was surprised. "Nkechi, who are you talking to?" her mother questioned her. "See," Nkechi said, pointing at the wall. "But there's nobody there," Nkechi's mother said. In that instant, Nkechi's mother knew that there was a big problem that needed an urgent attention. So she started praying for Nkechi. She prayed and prayed, commanding the evil spirit to get out of the way. Nkechi fell down on the floor as she started screaming. Nkechi's mother continued praying until Nkechi stopped screaming and was calm. Later that day, Nkechi had to open up to her mother on how she had gone to the market and had bent down looking in between her legs and had seen a lot of ghost traders and how she had been seeing a lot of them from that encounter in the market. Nkechi's mother was in shock to hear Nkechi's experiences. "How come you never told me?" Nkechi's mother said. "I was scared because you have always warned us. I was being disobedient." Nkechi was placed on fasting and prayers because, of course, this kind goeth not except by prayer and fasting, which she did, and after the prayers, she never saw any ghost again, and she never disobeyed her mother as she had learnt the hard way. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned so many valuable lessons while watching this story. You can share with us the valuable lessons you have learned in the comment section. Like this video please and share this video, share the story with your loved ones. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. Until I come your way again with another African story, for now, from me, it is bye.